Hi, I'm Glenn, originally from New Zealand, a proud New Zealand Maori, now here in Sweden, and I started a brewery. So we have a full setup inside, a 1,000 litre system, as well as our pilot system, which is for 40 litres. We have a full serving license for food and drinks. So our tap room is open for some very tasty local beer-inspired food. So we have fish and chips on the menu, which is obviously a biggie in New Zealand. We're quite lucky because it's a local fisherman who actually catches the fish directly out at the little waterway here. So we have used fish and chips. We have a beer batter recipe from a relation back in New Zealand. We also have wild pig burgers from a local supplier, Stella Holman, Millet Dalians. And then obviously one of my big favourites are kiwi pies from Tom, the pie guy down in Katarina Holm, another local product in Sirmland. Originally, when we came up with the name of Strange Brew, it was because when I first arrived here in Sweden, I couldn't say the word strangeness. For me, it always came down to strangeness. The name stuck. It seemed to be a nice way to sort of say, you know, StrangeBrew.BEER. We're strange and we brew beer. It sort of says everything about what we do and who we are. I never set out to actually become a commercial brewer. I enjoyed brewing back in New Zealand with a mate. I enjoyed it again when I came back here to Sweden. At the moment, I'm brewing some very personal individual beers, and these beers are all about my Maori heritage, the place I grew up, and the people who are my family. These beers typically have A ingredients, which is from either one of my relations or from the farm back home. So we have a Manuka honey beer, which was a honey from the family farm. I have a cousin who's a commercial fisherman who will be sending me over a bunch of abalone powers in New Zealand, and we'll be doing a power porter. And I'll have aunties and uncles sending me over all sorts of different ingredients, either from themselves, their own gardens, or from another relative's garden. This will be coming out underneath my Maori Viking limited edition label. But this is all a bit personal to me. It's a bit about my culture, who I am, where I'm from, and the people that are important to me. All breweries have their own little thing. We're all slightly different. I like to think we're different because a big part of our brewing is also being very ecological. You know, for us, every September we head out to the forest, we cut our wood, which then fires up our furnace, which then heats our water, which obviously then goes into the brewing process. The ingredients, like the spent grains, these are taken to different bakeries, or they get fed out to the animals on the farm. And it's the same with the yeast and the hops. You know, we recycle all of this on the farm, and even the water, because a large amount of water is used, but this is recycled right back into the whole system. So we want to have a very low impact on our environment. It's an important thing for me, being both a Māori and conscious of our environment. Also being on the farm gives me a sense of being back in New Zealand. The open spaces, the greenness, the forest, the countryside, the tractors, all these sort of things. This all reminds me of who I am and where I'm from. Being involved with the actual growing of our ingredients, again, this is a big thing. And this is what stands us out, I think, slightly differently. We're focused on the whole process. We have a tap room and a restaurant where people can come here, try our beers, try our food, but also to meet us. Come and see who we are and what we do. To really find out about someone's beer, you also have to know the brewer, the people behind it, what they stand for, who they are. And that's what we encourage.